Welcome to the Regenerative Collaborative South Africa. The following is a segment from November's webinar, A Regenerative Future.
So first up is Andile. He's a very experienced urban development strategist, specializes in integrated planning and urban management, and currently leads the Rosebank Green e-mobility pilot project in collaboration with key public and private partners. Andile, your time is starting now.
Thank you very much. Thanks. In terms of a vision, there's, three parts to my vision, actually. And the three parts are that you see on the first part, on the left-hand side. We've got a trend that we are on. We're Africans. Everybody on this call is aware where we are in the world, politically, physically, and there's a big social movement. Post-94, this is where we are. We're beginning to not only decolonize, but to re-Africanize. I say re-Africanize because it takes more than just leaving our past behind. It's about reinterpreting ourselves as we've become this that we are. So there's a whole range of initiatives around that, around Agenda 2063, where we are asserting ourselves. Agenda 2063, please Google it. It's the African Union's vision, and the tagline is the Africa that we want. Poses two very important problems for us as Africans and South Africans in particular, is that we need to decide who we are. We are a real mix and a diverse society experiencing itself in many different ways that are challenging. And then what do we want? We were very clear what we wanted in 1994, a liberal, a democratic society that looked after everybody and that began to look after environment. We put a whole lot of laws in place. 30 years later, the world has changed and we need to reinterpret ourselves again to say, what have we become? Is this still what we want? And make up the new thing that we want. That's the first one. The second one there is we are also very interesting as a society because we're a society of rule breakers who bring about a new order. And I've just cherry-picked some of the prominent characters in our history in that part. All of them, they follow a very similar arc of hardship, of struggle, of being quite contemporary for their time, working through hardships, wanting to make an impact, and then for a whole range of reasons being viewed positively and negatively as things go in South Africa. One of the biggest challenges of being South African is wondering what is good and what is bad about South Africa, because it's all happening at the same time. I must apologize if they skew, the leaders I've chosen here, they skew African, they skew male, and that's literally because of who I am. There are many more, and this is just a selection of people who've wanted to and have made a big impact on our society in different ways. And then that last part is quite important for me in particular, and this forum, because I think a growing value in South Africa is us wanting to have a just, green, and a developmental continent and country. These are some of the values that are core to who we are. It's something that has been clear about throughout my career, through many people that I've worked with, through all the lenses. A lot of people demonstrate these values and they approach development, they approach transport, all the different sectors with these values that are very much part and parcel of who we are. So that's my vision. Then we jump into the problems. And my problems that or challenges is literally the apartheid city. I'm a town planner by training, and the apartheid city is a creation that segregated peoples of different types. It's a man-made creation. And what is interesting about it is that in the 30 years post-1994, I believe we had a very clear vision of what we were trying to do at the beginning of this journey. And we've lost a little bit of that. The apartheid city still needs to be overcome. And in separating people in space, we've created transit deserts, or transport poverty is what I talk about. Not only do we have the triple challenges that we've got of unemployment, the triple challenges that we've got transport poverty, which is now people cannot get around. And what is transport poverty? It's limited transport supply, not only because people are living far away, but it's because the normal development of a city was inverted. The poor people are living far away. They cannot get to the places they need to get to, especially off-peak times. That means that they're not able to get to opportunity as well. But there's also the issue around the options. There aren't any transport options. The different modes of transport are not there. And because people don't have options, they've got mainly minibus, sometimes bus, sometimes even less so rail. Because the options are not there, that also reduces the ability or the things you can do with your life. And this has a negative effect on people's health, job prospects, and economic mobility. Why is this important? It's important because if we think about the apartheid city was set up to do exactly this. The apartheid city has got a lasting legacy where it robs people of time and excess disposable income. Why these two are important? Time, because when people have time, and this is a general human trait, what they tend to do is that they take time to develop themselves and make themselves better. And when they've got excess disposable income, most people tend to invest in the next generation. These are the two things that the apartheid city specifically targeted in the local people and in people who were then oppressed by apartheid. Moving on. Now, how durable is this cordon sanitaire? So the first picture shows you Soweto. And basically Soweto, we're looking at a part of Soweto where you've got, that's going to be our focus area, but you've got the different suburbs that were separated by race. Areas that were formerly white, areas that are colored, and the physical spaces in between the different race groups. This is exactly how apartheid planning was done. It was illegal to do anything else. In the second slide, basically we can see the different land uses. Industrial, the cordon sanitaire, you had to put a highway, an industrial area, or a vacant space, any physical feature, a mountain, a valley between the different races. And then if you see the transport, which is now the third panel that we've got there, the transport routes are literally trapped into these opportunities that are there. Nothing has really changed in time. This is why transport is very important, because transport can overcome in the interim whilst we build better cities, whilst we infill and find more creative ways to get over this. We can now begin to move people across in a much more democratic way. And when you do an analysis of walkability, you find that the greens, which are very highly walkable areas, are those areas that are in the suburbs that were separated by race. But the cordon sanitaire is the oranges and the reds, the areas that are impenetrable, which remain vacant and will remain vacant for a long time. This is what we're talking about. My big prediction is this. It's on-demand shared new energy transport enabled by legislation, compliance, and digital reporting will bring affordable transport to overcome transport poverty in South African cities. Let me cover the first four. The first part, on-demand, is literally on your phone. It's going to, on-demand is much more responsive to the needs of people. The technology is here. The majority of the population are already doing it. Shared, because we've got taxis at the moment. That's the one shared mode that we've got. Ubers have come. The e-hailing has come on board, and e-hailing has widely grown. Bolt, we've got InDrive. We've even got taxis through Shesha program who've hopped onto, or who've acknowledged at least, that there's an industry around shared. Then we've got new energy, which is basically electric and green hydrogen they're talking about, and transport, different modes of transport. All of these things are different modes. We're looking at micromobility in particular. There's people are exploring with smaller and smaller modes of transport that are beginning to take place. Why is this important? This mix of modes, how you get it and how you can share it, brings down the cost of affordable transport. And an important layer, which anybody who deals with the green sector, the GRC, ESG, legislation, compliance, and reporting, which has to be digital, is going to be the answer. So let me stop there. And I hope this was great.
Thank you for watching this video segment from November's webinar, A Regenerative Future. Like and subscribe for more inspirational content.